Madam Chair, we are recording.
Buenas today. I would like to call on the regular meeting of the Guam Land Use Commission for Thursday, October 12, 2023, to order. The time, according to my watch, is 1:33 p.m. As a reminder, today's meeting is being live streamed on YouTube at Guam Department of Land Management's channel. I will proceed with a roll call at this time. I am the chair of the Guam Land Use Commission, and even more than 3 days present. Commissioner Leilani Flores.
Present.
Commissioner Nonita Blas.
Here.
Executive Secretary Joseph Borja.
Present.
Deputy Director Richard Arroyo.
Present.
Legal Counsel Kristen Finney.
Here.
Guam Chief Planner Celine Cruz.
Here.
And I see that your planning staff colleagues are here. We do have a quorum. We can proceed with the meeting. Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. These are the Guam Land Use Commission regular meeting minutes of Thursday, May 11, 2023. The commissioners have been emailed the draft, and when you are ready, I will entertain a motion. Thank you very much, Commissioner Flores. The motion made. Do I hear a second?
I'll second them.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor of approving the minutes of May 11, 2023, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, I see that there is no old or unfinished business today, so we shall move on to the next item. Okay. Under part 4, new business zone change, we have application number 2022-42. The applicant, the Village Guam LLC, represented by Jesse J. Leon Guerrero and Amir Alavi, is requesting a zone change from A, agriculture zone, to C, commercial zone. The proposed construction of a dialysis clinic on lot 6, tract 10-416 in the Municipality of Yigo. The case planner here is sending it quickly, but before I proceed, I failed to ask, do the commissioners have any conflict or perceived conflict with this particular application before us?
I don't.
Okay, I don't have any perceived conflict, so I shall proceed.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I might ask,
Yes.
I do have a conflict of interest on one of the applications, so I will recuse myself from this meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Director Borja. No statement. We are recused. Are there any other conflicts from among the staff or others from the department or commission? I don't see any, so we shall proceed. At this time, I now turn the floor over to the applicant's representative to provide a presentation regarding application number 2022-42. And before you begin, please state for the record your name.
Okay, Madam Chair, my name is Jesse Guerrero. My colleague here is Amir Alavi. We both represent Village Guam LLC. And we're here before you for consideration with respect to the issue at hand we previously mentioned. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Alavi to give a brief presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairperson, Commissioners. My name is Amir. I work for the Village LLC. We have at the moment 3 dialysis units, buildings around Guam, and we're building another one in Manila. And we would like to build another one in Yigo. We did look around a lot for other locations that didn't need a zone change. Either they were too small, too expensive, or one that did go through for a while. Unfortunately, the sellers didn't agree between themselves. So we found this lot, which is a very good location, but unfortunately it does require this zone change. So the reason why we need more dialysis units, there are about 1,000 patients dialysis patients on board. And that number is increasing because a lot of patients from other islands that don't have diseases come from. Unfortunately, the nature of these diseases, once they come and start this treatment, they cannot leave. They just stay. 50% of all the patients are in Northern Guam, and about 25% in Yigo. The reason why it's good to have local, there are many reasons why it's good to have local treatment centers rather than one huge hospital or clinic. And because a local dialysis provides a whole round service. It's not just the dialysis, it's counseling, nutritionists, nurses, and pharmacy. So the patients don't have to go far. They can get everything in one location. And dialysis also is a treatment that's not covered. It doesn't need insurance. It's covered by Medicare and whatever, irrespective of your finances. The reason why we would like another dialysis unit in Yigo is because it's the highest population and the highest population of dialysis patients. This unit would cater to about 130 residents. So, some reasons that it's good to have a community-based clinic is to reduce the travel time for patients. If you're familiar with dialysis, basically they have to go 3 times a week, each time for 4 hours. So it is a very intrusive process for the patient, for the caregivers, and for the care providers. It's best to not to have people travel far distances to have that treatment. It also, has a effect of reducing island-wide travel. So instead of having to travel to other locations, we just stay local. Having a dialysis unit, we've noticed that it does add value to the neighborhood in our other locations. It adds safety and security, and it's a very quiet and clean business. So our concept was, sorry, I forgot to ask you. So this is the dialysis unit we are building on Route 10 in Manila. And the one in Yigo, if it goes ahead, will be a similar concept. So it will be a single-story concrete building on Route 50. We were thinking of making it larger, but I've reduced that to approximately 12,000 square feet. And the lot is almost 6,000 square meters. It's about an acre and a half. The 12,000 square foot, about 8,000 of it will be the treatment room, and then you have the offices and the nurses stations. It will be a 23-bed dialysis unit, so similar to the other units, and it will cater to the patients 3 shifts per day, 6 days a week. So they start like 6 o'clock in the morning until 11 p.m. Next slide, please. So this is the shape of the lot. It is kind of elongated, and the building is going to be narrow and long. So I think that's why we have to limit the size. We haven't actually designed the unit yet, so we have to see what's the best way of fitting it into that lot. Taking into consideration that because it's agricultural, we need wider than usual spaces around these setbacks. So I think 25 parking spaces for that will be sufficient. And it's a long route. Next, please. So our estimation is, the impact on the community and the services around there. It will need about 215,000 gallons of water per month. This is based on the other dialysis figures. About 26,000 kilowatts per month. So my rough estimation is equivalent to about 20 houses. The dialysis unit has low traffic. It's not like a hospital because of the long treatment times. There's not a lot of coming and going, no traffic. There will be public transport with bringing patients in, and there are minimal ambulances, so there's no sirens going on. Having a building, it does add safety and security value to the neighboring property. In addition, we're going to have to provide sewer connection, which will also benefit the other areas. From my observation, the closest sewer is several hundred feet, maybe 1,000 feet away. So it's going to be a challenge, but they will pass a lot of blocks on the way, so it could accommodate. Now, you will have to be a big sewer, so it will accommodate. Please. So that blue, what is it? Lot 6, that's the lot in question. At the moment, there is not a lot around it. There are 3 houses in the adjacent lot. There is 1 house, 2 lots to the north. Across the road is the quarry and raceway. So there's not much going on. These are our current dialysis units. The top left-hand corner is at Damian. This is the largest one. Actually, it has 30 dialysis chairs. It's the biggest one, and we found that it does put a lot of stress on the nurses and doctors that work there. So having 2 big dialysis units it's not user friendly, even though it's more financially efficient, but it just doesn't work for the doctors or for the patients. The top right hand corner is on Route 1, it's Alegria, used to be Chen's furniture store. Bottom left hand corner is on Route 3, and the last one is Route 10. They're all nice looking buildings, and we take the surrounding into consideration, designing it. Okay, so the last slide, please. So this is photos from a dialysis unit in Harbor, but it's not one of our buildings, but it was damaged during the typhoon. And it really puts it. And there's also another dialysis unit in operation 2 miles across from the mall. They both had typhoon damage, and they really put the pressure on our dialysis units and the patients. Everybody was cut down to 2 treatments for 2 hours per week. So it's just a matter of keeping people alive for as long as we could. But the water damage in this dialysis unit basically shut it down for a few months. Even as it is, we're short on dialysis beds, so we can't really afford to have dialysis units closed. That's why a good solid building is really necessary. That's it for me. Open to questions.
Thank you very much for that presentation. I now turn the floor over to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any questions.
The average number of patients per day in let's say 25.
First, 23 chairs times 3 shifts, so
75 per day.
25 per day. Well, actually, a lot of the time they have to do 4 shifts a day. The shortage. There is a dialysis unit under renovation in the plaza at the hall. The medical plaza in Tamuning. When that comes online, it will help. But at the moment, most of the dialysis units are 4 shifts. 6 days a week.
Okay. So just one final question. With the current inventory of accommodations you have within your current portfolio of dialysis centers, how much of that 1,000 approximate population are you servicing currently?
I think pretty much everyone. Um, because we are partners with we don't provide the dialysis. I mean, these are just buildings. The dialysis provider is Fresenius. So basically, they are providing dialysis to everyone. Now, some of it is on our building, some of it are on other buildings in the hospitals and medical plaza, and also the HP.
Thank you very much. I now turn it over to staff for their presentation at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be reading the staff report dated October 5th, 2023 for application number 2022-42. The applicant, the Village Guam LLC, represented by Jesse Leon Guerrero and Amir Alavi, is requesting approval of a zone change from A, agricultural zone, to C, commercial zone for the proposed construction and operation of a dialysis clinic on Lot 6, Tract 10416 in the Municipality of Yigo. The legal authority is section 61630 to 61638 of chapter 61, title 21 GCA. The subject lot is located along Route 15, approximately 400 feet north from the junction of Route 15 and Chalon, Laguna. The subject lot is 5,984 square meters or 64,412 square feet and is presently zoned agricultural. The site is presently vacant and overgrown with various types of ground cover vegetation. Under the North and Central Land Use Plan, the designation is low density residential. Under the Community Design Plan, the designation is urban residential low density, and there was no previous commission action. The application was accepted on December 12, 2022, presented to the Application Review Committee on January 5th, 2023, and a public hearing was held on August 16, 2023. The applicant's request is for a zone change approval pursuant to section 61630 of chapter 61, title 21 GCA, which states the commission may, with approval of the governor, change the zones established under this chapter whenever it finds that the public necessity, convenience, and general welfare justify such action. The applicant, in response for the zone change, submits the following justification. In regards to public necessity, the proposed zone change of the subject property and proposed uses are compatible with existing commercial and residential uses in the area. The proposed land use and related activities will afford the community with a state-of-the-art medical facility specializing in renal care for dialysis patients and other affiliated services. A kidney dialysis clinic in this location will alleviate the overburdened current state of the island's dialysis units. Currently, all dialysis clinics are operating 4 shifts a day, 6 days a week at full capacity. The necessity for another dialysis clinic in view of the continuing addition of the new kidney patients cannot be overemphasized. In regards to public convenience, the proposed zone change will provide the community with substantial convenience for all dialysis and kidney patients residing in one of the more populous areas on island. A new dialysis clinic in Yigo will serve a large portion of Guam's kidney patients requiring proper and quality renal care. This will minimize travel and commute time for patients, family members, caretakers, nurses, and technicians, thereby reducing cross-island travel and traffic. The location is prime, ideal, convenient, and situated in a non-density area of the community. This facility will not only serve the patients of Yigo, but it will also serve patients from parts of Jericho and Manila. In regards to general welfare, the building concept is a neutral 1-story concrete facility with a flat roof containing approximately 15,000 square feet of usable space on a 1.3-acre lot, which will hold 30 to 40 parking spaces. Development plans for the proposed facility will ensure the protection of adjacent neighbors, the public, and the environment by adhering to all permitting requirements, as well as all local and federal regulations. The owners will ensure that all conditions and other requirements by permitting agencies are to be adhered to from clearing, construction, and through occupancy. The proposed facility will be professionally landscaped and will be kept in an orderly manner and provide an appealing ambiance. As with the other dialysis facilities, And due to the nature of the business, the facility will not add any noise or light pollution in the area. Dialysis clinics are not high-traffic facilities as each patient is treated for 4 hours or more. There are no ambulances. The lighting in the parking lot is designed to provide a soft and comfortable ambient light with no intrusion into any neighboring buildings or houses. The addition of a medical facility in the neighborhood improves the safety and security of the area. It provides community service and adds value to the neighborhood and the entire municipality of Yigo. Not to mention that it will also further serve patients residing in parts of Derrida and Minilao. In our analysis, considering that the context of the application provides justification that public necessity, convenience, and general welfare support a positive action on the zone change request, and that the subject zone change request received no objection position statement from the ARC members. Additionally, the results of the community public hearing was positive, and a result of the Yigo Municipal Planning Council meeting on February 2nd, 2023, the Yigo MPC resolution number 2023-01 was in support of the zone change. We find that the above and the context of the application provides justification that the public's necessity, convenience, and general welfare are addressed, and that the zone change for future commercial use of the property will be a vital element of the community supporting a positive action on the zone change request. And lastly, on to recommendation, planning staff recommends approval subject to the ARC permitting agency's position statement. Attached with this staff report is the ARC position statement summary, minutes of the public hearing, and the Yigo MPC resolution. And this concludes the staff report.
Ms. Mossy, thank you very much, Case Planner Joey. And I'll turn it over to my colleagues, commissioners, to see if we have any questions for staff. Don't have any questions, there being none. Thank you very much. I now open the floor up to the public to see if there are any comments. If you do have any, please approach the table. Don't see any. I'll go ahead and close this segment of public comment. Commissioners, are there any other further discussion on this application? If there be none, I am ready to entertain a motion for application number 2022-42, the applicant. The Village Guam LLC, represented by Jesse J. Guerrero and Amir Alavi, is requesting a zone change from A agriculture zone to C commercial zone for the proposed construction of a dialysis clinic in lot 6, tract 10416, in the municipality of Yigo. There are motion for action.
I'd like the motion to approve application number 2022-42 based on the staff report dated October 5, 2023. These are the recommendations dated in October 5th, 2023 staff report.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner Forrester. Your second.
I'll second them.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Bloss. Any further discussion? If there being none, all in favor of approving this application, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. Okay, it is unanimous. Application 2022-42 is approved. Thank you very much. Ms. Mossy. Okay. Our next item on the agenda, we have a tentative subdivision. Item B, application number 2023-23. The applicant, Conrado V and Katherine D. Alegria, represented by Daniel B. Swavely, are requesting a tentative subdivision for proposed Legacy Subdivision consisting of 28 lots, a fully improved subdivision on lot 13, tract 10416 in the municipality of Yigo and R1 single family dwelling zone. The case planner for this is Ms. Grace Vergara. I would now like to turn the floor over to the applicant's representative to provide a presentation, and for the record, please state your name.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Dan Swavely. I'm representing Conrado V.
Thank you very much.
Full disclosure.
Thank you very much. And Director Flores, not in the room, so we may proceed.
Thank you. So this tentative subdivision plan follows a rezoning of this property about a year ago, of agriculture to R1. It was a clean process. We got good public input from the municipal public hearing as well as from the two planning council public hearings. And we followed the suggestions that the neighbors offered up there as well. Remember, its legacy is going to be a we call it fully improved subdivision, all utilities, a large neighborhood park, lots of guest parking, a bus shelter along Alegria. We have good ARC comments, especially from Public Works about that, not as problematic. The tentative development master plan conforms almost identically to the master plan that we presented throughout the public hearings for the zone. There's just a few lot sizes that have changed, but overall, we're still talking about 28 lots, each with a 2-story house. There will be 14 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath houses and 14 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath houses. Phase 1 would be probably 2 units being constructed of each model. Construction will be undertaken by the property owner, Conrad and Alegria, Conrad and Katherine D. And their plan is to build it in phases and to full build out in about 5 years. That recaps the application.
Thank you very much, Mr. Swavely. To my commissioner colleagues, do you have any questions for Ferguson?
I don't.
Also review the pack. I have no questions at this time. Thank you very much. I now turn it over to our chief planner or staff representative to go over their presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Police Planner Grace Guerrero, I'll be reading her staff report dated October 2nd, 2020. The applicants, Conrado and Katherine Alegria, represented by Daniel D. Swavely, Consulting Services, Inc., are requesting approval of a tentative subdivision for the construction of a fully improved subdivision consisting of 28 single-family residential lots on Lot 13, Tract 10416 in the Municipality of Yigo, in an R1 single-family dwelling site. Legal authority, Title 21 GCA, Chapter 62, Subdivision Lots, overgrown with vegetation. The master plan has this area designated as very low density residential under the North and Central Guam Land Use Plan. Community design plan designates two areas for urban residential low density development. The previous commission actions. On October 27, 2022, the Guam Land Use Commission, GLUC, approved with conditions a zone change from A to R1 zone for the proposed development of a single-family dwelling subdivision, the Legacy Subdivision. This application was accepted June 5th, 2023, heard by the ARC July 6, 2023, and no public hearings was required for this application. On our staff analysis, the applicants proposed to create a fully improved subdivision with 28 lots for the purpose of constructing single-family residential lots with a large neighborhood park. The total lot area of the property is 27,197.50 square meters and contains a land use density of 58 single-family dwellings. However, the applicants proposed to utilize only 48% of the property's allowable density. In its development concept, the applicants proposed to construct 14 2-story houses with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, and a 14 2-story houses with 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. Access easements within the subdivision will have a width of 40 feet. The on-site improvements will consist of paved roads, sidewalks, curbs, gutters, streetlights, fire hydrants, underground utilities, stormwater collections and drainages, and a large neighborhood park. The proposed subdivision as submitted follows basic requirements as provided under the subdivision law. To address the health, safety, and general welfare issues, the proposed development, and the public in general, the applicants have been coordinating with various government entities to ensure that their requirements are heard. Likewise, health, safety, and general welfare of the community is logically supported by a single-family use proposal within the appropriate zoning designation. And at 48% density, the impact of the infrastructure to the surrounding communities would be less. Recommendations. Based on the above, we recommend approval with the following condition. That the applicants adhere to conditions and requirements as stipulated on official position statements provided by the ARC, as such conditions and requirements apply to the permitting requirements, and all infrastructure improvements requirements must be installed throughout the proposed development site within the prescribed 1-year time frame pursuant to Title 21 GCA, Chapter 62, Section 625048. The applicants may further elect to secure a bond pursuant to 21 GCA, Chapter 62, Section 62504. That concludes our staff report, Madam Chair.
City Swansea. Thank you very much. I now turn it over to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any questions for staff at this time.
So I see that this one kind of, it's in the same, track number as
Yeah.
the previous one, so they're kind of close together.
They are. So, this is the project site we're discussing now, and then the other project site is right about there. Yeah, so they are close, part of the same track,
Yeah.
original track.
Big sun, but
Yeah.
okay, thank you. Okay, I don't have any questions. Thank you very much, staff. I now open the floor for a public comment to see if there are any members of the audience who would like to come forward for a public comment. I don't see any. I'll proceed and close the segment of public comment, and we now bring it back to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any further discussion. I want Mr. Swavely.
May I make a clarification, please?
Yes.
Clarification. We'll touch on in case financial report. Number one, we will definitely be pursuing a performance bond shortly to extend the time to finish construction. Well, we have a jump start already on the design. Just aren't enough civil works contractors around and do something like this in a year. 2 years, frankly, it's not a big project, but still that's our experience. So we will be closing that through shortly. And number two, for the record, I we totally accept all the market position statements except one. That being from SHPO, Parks and Recreation. I'm in the process of appealing their requirement that we do an extensive archaeological survey costing $30,000 or $40,000 for this property. The reasons that, number one, there haven't been any archaeological resources, cultural resources found anywhere else in the area that we want that. And number two, former Assistant Attorney General Jessica Fox, 2019 memorandum clearly states that SHPO is not permitted, is not allowed to make such requirements by private land. So I've been pursuing this course of action on other projects as well. If in fact SHPO's condition stands, we will of course. If it doesn't stand, then I presume that the condition will change and I will still be complying with their conditions, but it may not be the condition before you today.
Thank you, Mr. Swavely. I think we're ready to entertain any recommended action for this particular application.
I make a motion to approve this application 2023-28 for the tentative subdivision in Yigo.
Promotion.
As for motion, yes.
Do I hear a second?
Next motion, we motion to approve this application based on the recommendations stated in the October 2nd, 2023 staff report.
Okay, thank you. So the motion or a second to the motion? Any further discussion? There being none, I have none at all. All in favor of approving the motion for application number 2023-23, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. Okay, the motion carries. Application is approved. Excuse me. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the horizontal property regime. Item C, application number 2023-41. The applicant, Home Equity LLC, represented by Attorney Janalynn C. Damian, requests issuance of a final public report for a two-story 10-unit townhome complex to be known as Plumeria Townhomes on Lot 7, NEW Block 4, Tract 90, in the Municipality of Tamuning in an R2 multifamily dwelling zone, HPR number 175. Case planner is Celine Cruz. I will now turn the floor over to the applicant representative to provide a presentation. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Paul Suchda, and asked as the authorized representative for the applicant. Due to the fact that the attorney Janalynn is not available. My name is Paul Suchda.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, the authorization, the updated authorization is part of your packet today. We received that.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Okay, so we have before you the application for HPR approval. The property located on 150 Street, not just Street, Tamuning, sort of behind the populous area. It's a project consists of 10 townhomes, and it's has received its certificate of occupancy since September 2021. And the property consists of properties. The name of the project is called Plumeria Townhomes. It is it was completed in September 24, 2021. The legal lot description is lot 7, Block 4, Tract 90, an R2 zone following all the setback requirements, and consists of 22 parking spaces with 2 assigned parking spaces per unit and 3 unassigned guest parking spaces. Each of the 10 units consists of about 1,300 square feet of living area and covered patio. Other than that, property has is well maintained. It's currently under management, and see for your
Thank you very much. I now turn the floor over to my fellow commissioners. Do you have any questions for the applicant?
2 questions. What's an HPR for my training?
HPR is a horizontal property regime that allows a horizontal property regime that allows a particular lot to be further, lack of a better word, subdivided so that it can be sold individually, like a condo unit. It's kind of like, I don't think this is a technical word, but condomized.
Like putting 2 houses on one lot?
Well, not just houses, but just the condos. Okay.
So we gotta get the government's permission to do that.
Yes, otherwise you won't be able to sell legally. You won't legally have its own legal description to be able to be sold separately.
And what's the purpose of a final public report? That's what you're asking for, right? The issuance of a final public report?
Commissioner Blas, I think I can answer that question. The final public report is required for the sale of any of the units. What's being presented to the commission today is the project as a whole and their plan for how they intend to sell it. The intent is to protect the purchasers' funds if they were with the full disclosure of any details about the project and what the prospective buyer is going to be receiving if they do purchase the unit in the project.
So it's our way of the government protecting the
Purchaser's interest, yes.
Okay, that's-
Thank you. For question, I'll turn it over to our chief planner or base planner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be reading the staff report on behalf of Chief Planner Cruz dated October 5th, 2023 for application number 2023-41. The applicant Home Equity LLC represented by Janalynn C, Damian and Bobby Sashdev is requesting the issuance of a final public report for a project to be known as Plumeria Townhomes or the project. The said project consists of one building, 2 stories in height and contains 10 two-story townhomes with common elements on Lot 7 New, Block 4, Tract 90 in an R2 multifamily dwelling zone in the Municipality of Tamuning. The legal authority is Title 21 GCA, Chapter 45. Plumeria Townhomes is located along Ignacio Street in Tamuning with a total lot area of 1,858 square meters and is presently zone R2 multifamily dwelling zone and is connected to the public sewer. There was no previous commission action on the subject lot and the application was accepted on August 7, 2023. The project is described in the townhome plans and consists of one building constructed primarily of poured-in-place concrete, gypsum board, wood, and steel. The building is 2 stories in height and contains a total of 10 two-story townhomes. Each 2-story townhomes has 1,299.11 square feet and consists of 2 bedrooms, a living room, a dining room, kitchen, 2.5 bathrooms, and a patio on the first floor. The patio is comprised of 102.22 square feet. In the townhomes description, it states that 10 freehold states are hereby separately designated in the spaces with the perimeter walls, floors, ceilings. Each of the 10 two-story townhomes also spaces within the patio located on the first floor are pertinent to each townhome, which townhomes are designated on the townhome plans. The parking facilities are comprised of 23 parking spaces, 20 of which are assigned and 3 of which are not assigned. Limited townhome common elements include the front porch and balconies pertinent to each of the townhomes. For common elements, the townhome common elements shall include all portions of the project other than the townhomes and shall include but not to be limited to the land in fee simple, all perimeter and load-bearing walls, all structural components, foundations, floor slabs, columns, supports, and roofs, all windows and typhoon shutters, all yards, fences, landscaping, and refuse facilities, all roads, trench drains, driveways, ramps, loading areas, parking lot, and 2 motorized gates, sidewalks, railings, and walkways, and all guest parking. Limited townhome common elements include 2 assigned parking spaces and water submeters. Onto required documents, the applicant has submitted all available required documents and has provided a statement justifying the absence of documents in its submission. Based on the submitted documents, it is our position that the material facts have been presented and are adequate for any prospective purchaser to consider, and that appropriate protection for the purchaser's funds have been provided. And lastly, onto staff recommendation, we recommend the issuance of a final public report. This project shall be registered under registration number 175, known as Plumeria Townhomes. And the said final public report shall expire 13 months from the date of recordation of the notice of action. And this concludes the staff report.
Okay, thank you very much. And now turn it over to my colleagues, commissioners, to see if you have any questions or staff.
No questions.
I have no questions. There being none, I now turn it over to open comment for the public. Anyone in our audience would like to make any comments regarding this application? You're welcome to come forward. Don't see any movement, therefore I'm going to close for public comment, and I now turn it over to our commissioners to see if you have any further questions or further discussion on this application.
Madam Chair, before we make the motion, I'd just like to note that the motion should be in the lines of issuance of a public report. We don't approve it, we're just issuing the public report based on the material facts presented.
Very good. That being said, I am ready to entertain a motion for action.
I make a motion that we approve the issuance of a final public report for application 2023. That for one as specified in the staff report dated October 5th, 2020.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Blasso. I hear a second. Okay, thank you, Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving this motion, please signify by saying aye and raising your right hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Application is approved. Ms. Moss, thank you very much to both of you. Yes. Next, we have item 5, administrative miscellaneous matters. We do have 4 additional items under the conditional use renewal segment, beginning with 5D. Application number 2020-36B. The applicant, NC Corporation, represented by SC and Venti Planners, requests renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow for the construction and operation of a temporary workforce housing facility to house up to 256 temporary workers on lot 5029-194 in the municipality of Yigo within M1 light industrial zone. Case planner is Mr. Frank. I now turn it over to the applicant's representative for presentation.
Madam Chair and members of the commission, my name is Katherine D. Representing my PNC Corporation. In July 2 of 2021, the application by Dong PNC for a housing facility for temporary workers was approved. There were 256 contracted. The application consisted of 2 each, 2-story metal prefab building at 20 feet height, 1-story metal prefab building at 10 feet. Parking is provided, and we proceeded to continue with completing the project as submitted. However, the company had anticipated success in pursuit of construction projects that were available for competition at the time. Unfortunately, they were unsuccessful, and it caused them to take a pause in their pursuit of construction projects in Guam. This is a Korean company. In addition to that, when the project was formed, it was formed in 2020. They went over their financials, and the high inflation costs of construction materials, equipment, and labor again contributed to their pause. Also, all their studies that they have made didn't quite work out. So basically, the game plan by this company is to proceed with this workforce housing facility had to stop for a while and has been considered. As I mentioned, also there were some projects that they were very confident in filing for their construction, but they were not successful in that. So, based on that, in consideration of all the ARC conditions, compliance with all those conditions, the market forces changing, the lack of success in actually getting contracts to build, time ran out. So we are before you to request for an extension. They still want to compete. They still want to be a player in the bond construction. And so they've asked for the commission to consider extending the approval so that they can continue pursuing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benedetti. And now turn it over to my colleagues to see if you have any questions.
So, Mr. Benedetti, they haven't built anything on that? No. Okay.
So thank you very much. I'm just gonna, it's a story of resiliency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, given all these different uncertainties and so forth. Thank you very much.
And actually, the big project, which is the Guam Village Power Plant. Imagine that was a super huge project in there to handle that when it was successful. So I would think we spend the millions to figure it out. So it's like reorganizing. Being what happened. But they didn't want to lose this approval. This approval was, for these.
Thank you very much. I now turn it over to our staff, chief planner, for your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be reading the commission brief on behalf of the case planner, Mr. Frank Saitino, dated August 8, 2023 for application number 2020-36B. The applicant, Maidong E&C Corporation, represented by FC Benedetti Planners, is requesting for renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the construction and operation of a temporary workforce housing facility, TWHF, to house up to a maximum of 256 temporary workers on lot 5029-1-4 in the municipality of Dedido in an M1 light industrial zone. The legal authority is Title 21 GCA, Chapter 61, and Section 61303 and Section 61309C, Policy for Workforce Housing Facilities for Temporary Workers, and Public Law 36-2. On to the application summary. Application number 2020-36 was approved by the Guam Chief Planner on July 2nd, 2021, pursuant to Public Law 36-2. And as shown on the approved site plan, the TWHF in its final development is to consist of 3 buildings, 2 two-story and 1 one-story, a recreational barbecue area, an on-site stormwater retention system, a parking area, landscaping, and a 6-foot-high perimeter fence. The TWHF is to be developed to accommodate elements for sleeping, kitchen, dining, toilet, shower, and laundry facilities, security, including fire and medical emergency response capabilities, on and off-site recreational religious activities, transportation services, and an in-house set of rules and regulations that addresses security and safety practices, including other factors such as personnel access and exit procedures and personal and social code of conduct. On July 26, 2023, the case planner conducted a site visit of the approved TWHF and finds that the site still vacant with various types of ground cover vegetation, typhoon damaged, small bushes, and various types of trees. In conclusion, we find that the request package is in proper form and context and submitted to the commission for their action. Lastly, on to recommendation, it is our position that the applicant's continuing efforts to successfully pursue a major construction project is sincere and recommend approval of the request for renewal of its TWHF approval with the following conditions. Number 1, that the applicant continues compliance to Section 2 of Public Law 36-2, as specified on the Department of Land Management's approval letter dated July 2nd, 2021, and Section 5 of the Executive Order 96-26. And lastly, that pursuant to the approved TWHF site plan and Section 61303, subsection B of Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA, any change on the site plan or increased number of workers beyond the approved 256 workers shall be subject to the approval of the Commission in accordance with the criteria set forth in subsections A and C of Section 61303, Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA. Included with this commission brief is a request package, DLM's approval letter, and the approved site plan. And this concludes the commission brief.
Thank you very much, Ms. Booby. Do our commissioners have any questions?
No question.
Okay, no questions. I have none either. Thank you very much. I now open the floor up for public comment for application 2020-36. See any movement, so I'll go ahead and close public comment at this time, and I turn it back to our commissioners to see if you have any further discussion or questions. There being none, I will go ahead and entertain a motion for action.
Motion to approve application number 2020-36B based on the recommendations stated in August 2023 Commission brief.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Forrest. Do I hear a second to this motion?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Blas. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor of approving application number 2020-360, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye, it is unanimous. Application is approved. Thank you very much, Mr. Penniman.
Thank you very much.
Very good. The next item, 5E, application number 2020-05B, the applicants, Noli J. and Rita L. Serrano, represented by Harry B. Gutierrez and Carlos R. Untalan, are requesting renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow for the continued operation of its temporary workforce housing facility to house up to 32 temporary workers on Lot 8, Tract 1141, in the Municipality of Yigo in an M1 light industrial zone. The case planner for this application is Mr. Frank Titano. I now turn it over to the applicant's representative. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Harry Paris. I'm representing Soriano. We're just asking for extension, right? We have met all the requirements. The public health and the other agency which did their inspection 2 weeks ago. I'm not asking for any increase of workforce. All I have to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gutierrez. Do my fellow commissioners have any questions for Mr. Gutierrez at this time?
I don't have anything.
I don't have any questions either. Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and turn it over to our chief planner or staff representative for your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be reading the commission brief on behalf of Mr. Frank Titano dated August 7, 2023 for application number 2020-05B. The applicants Noli and Rita Serrano, represented by Harry Gutierrez and Carlos Untalan, are requesting for renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the continued operation of a TWHF to house up to a maximum of 32 workers on Lot 8, Tract 1141, in the Municipality of Yigo in an M1 light industrial zone. Application 2020-05 was approved by the Guam Chief Planner on July 30th, 2021, pursuant to Public Law 36-2, and as shown on the approved site plan, the TWHF in its final development is to consist of a single 1-story, 5-bedroom residential structure, a 12-foot by 15-foot first aid room on an adjoining material storage building, a recreational yard, an employee parking area, an on-site stormwater retention system, landscaping, and a 6-foot high perimeter fence. The TWHF is to be developed to accommodate elements for sleeping, kitchen, dining, toilet, shower, and laundry facilities, security including fire, medical, emergency response capability, on and off-site recreational religious activities, transportation services, and an in-house set of rules and regulations that addresses security and safety practices, including other factors such as personnel access and exit procedures, and personal and social code of conduct. The applicant submits its annual renewal request and in general provides that as approved pursuant to Public Law 36-2, elements of the approved TWHF are functionally existing. The applicant also includes a copy of the Department of Public Health and Social Services, Workers' Dormitory and Sanitary permits, and photos of the complex. In addition, the applicant submitted building plans that changed the initial 1-story TWHF residential structure into a 2-story TWHF residential structure and references in the renewal package, which includes a dormitory permit to suggest that the number of workers housed in the TWHF increased to 32 from the approved 30 workers. On July 28, 2023, the case planner conducted a site visit of their approved TWHF, and from an outside the fence observation, planning staff recommends that the exterior of the facility is well kept with evidence of cleanup efforts of the typhoon-related debris outside and inside the facility. In conclusion, we find that the request package is in proper form and context and submitted to the Commission for their action. Lastly, on to recommendation, it is our position that the applicant's continuing coordination with the permitting agencies finds that the applicant is complying to the conditions imposed, have been and continues to work with the appropriate government entities in adhering to said agencies' requirements and ensuring that best management practices are in place. In line with the above, we recommend a favorable commission review of the request to include the change of the TWHF residential structure and number of workers to be housed in the TWHF from 30 workers to 32 workers with the following conditions. Number one, that the applicant continues compliance to Section 2 of Public Law 36-2 as specified on DLM's approval letter dated July 30th, 2021. And lastly, that pursuant to the approved TWHF site plan and Section 61303, subsection B of Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA, any change on the site plan or increased number of workers of the TWHF beyond the approved 32 workers shall be subject to the approval of the Commission in accordance with the criteria set forth in subsections A and C of Section 61303 of Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA. Included with this commission brief is a request package, DLM's approval letter, the approved site plan, and a copy of the Dedido Municipal Planning Council resolution. And this concludes the commission brief.
Hopefully, and I'll turn it over to my colleagues, commissioners, do you have any questions or no? No questions. I have no questions as well. Thank you very much. I now open the floor up for a public comment at this time. Don't see any movement. I will go ahead and close floor for public comment and come back to my fellow commissioners for further discussion or questions regarding the application.
I make a motion that we approve the request for renewal for continuing operation of the temporary workforce as in accordance with application number 2020-05B as specified in the staff report dated August 7th, 2020.
Okay, excuse me, Commissioner Lost. Do I hear a second? Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor of approving the application 2020-05B, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. The application is approved. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support. Thank you, responsiveness, very curious in this issue. Okay, item 5F, application number 2020-41B, the applicant, NAN Incorporated, and represented by WB Flores and Associates, is requesting renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow for the continued operation of a temporary workforce housing facility to house up to a maximum of 852 temporary workers on lot 2278-R1, estate 111710 in the municipality of Bear Valley in M1 zone light industrial. The case planner here is Mr. Frank Tectino. I now turn it over to the applicant or representative at this time, and for the record, please state your name.
When is an up a day, Madam Chair, commission members and staff? My name is Willie Flores, and with me of WB Flores and Associates, we are representing Non Inc. And with me is Ravina Rojas, our project manager.
Please proceed.
Thank you. We represent Non Inc., who is currently operating 2 temporary workforce housing facilities. The one that we are seeking renewal for was previously approved by the commission. It is located in Teton, next to the Non Inc. offices. And it is, for reference, it is the old El Viejo Club, next to the old El Viejo Club and the DMR Revenue and Tax and Driver's License, which used to be in Teton. The Non Inc. is the operator of the facility, and they have complied with all the conditions that was posted on the notice of action, the approval of this facility. Currently, there are 266 active occupants or tenants there, workers in that particular facility, which one building right now is the one under in use. That building was, the current building in use was approved for up to 404 beds. Right now, there are 266 tenants. I spoke with the mayor, mayor and vice mayor of Barragata, and they indicated to me that the Teton Non Inc. facility is a good neighbor. Their only concerns were at the beginning when the workers first moved in, and many of them had bicycles and were walking on the street and all that, and they were concerned about the safety issues of these folks getting hit on the hit by traffic, because they do go out to Route 8 and they turn right towards the laundromat, they turn left towards Happy Mart, And so we conducted a safety briefing and all of those at the time when this was first brought up. And new workers now are provided with a safety briefing on traffic and how to get around. In addition, out of concern for that non-8 aside for additional vans to be taking these folks to where they need to go to do their shopping and their laundry and all that. In addition to that, they provide laundry facilities, but the workers prefer to go to the laundromat that's down towards the Oklahoma store. That laundromat there, because it gives them a chance to get out of the facility and, and go see. So they've been good neighbors. The facility is well kept. It's very, very clean. They have recreational facilities, both physical and social activities for the workers there. On Friday nights and Saturday nights, if you drive by, you will be treated to. There's quite a few good singers. They set up karaoke for the guys. They have a little potluck and party in between. And so we have noticed good camaraderie there. There have been 3 that have been returned for not following the rules of the facility. They do not tolerate any conflicts, which are not easily resolved. So any conflicts which to turn physical, they bring them in for counseling. And at this point, since the approval and since the workers first moved in, there have been 3 that have been returned for violating that. Other than that, Madam Chair, as I said, the facility is well kept, very clean, very quiet, and we have received, as far as we know, and I guess speaking with the mayor, we have received no complaints regarding the facility, so therefore we request the commission's approval for removal. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. To my fellow commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Forrest? I don't have any questions. Thank you very much. And I'll turn the floor over to our chief planner or staff for your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Case Planner, Mr. Frank Teitzno, this is the commission brief dated August 7, 2023 for application number 2020-41D. The applicant, Non-Inc., represented by WB Flores and Associates, is requesting for renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the continued operation of a TWHF to house up to a maximum of 852 temporary workers on lot 2278-R1, Estate 1117 in the municipality of Barrigada in the M1 light industrial zone. Application 2020-41, as approved by the Guam Chief Planner on April 27, 2021, pursuant to Public Law 36-2, and as shown on the approved site plan, the TWH facility in its final development is to consist of the modified existing warehouse to house 404 workers and 7 modular housing units to house 448 workers at 64 workers each, an outdoor recreational area, an on-site stormwater retention system, an employee parking area, landscaping, and a 6-foot high perimeter fence. The applicant hereby submits an updated site plan and its initial term of 24 months annual renewal request, and in general provides that as approved pursuant to Public Law 36-2, elements of the approved TWHF for sleeping, kitchen, dining, toilet, shower, and laundry facilities, security including fire and medical emergency response capability, recreational facilities, transportation services, on-site stormwater retention system, landscaping, and a 6-foot high perimeter fence, and an in-house set of rules and regulations, and building renovations and additions of the approved TWHF are functionally existing. The applicant also included a copy of DPHSS workers, dormitory and sanitary permits, and photos of the complex. And in line with the Barrigada MPC Resolution 2021-003, which states that Resolution 2021 pertains to only 404 beds in the proposed non-Inc. TWHF in the existing structurally sound pre-engineered metal building structure on lot 2278-R1 and cannot be extended or expanded in any way without the express consent of the Barrigada MPC via a resolution. The applicant submits its updated site plan, which shows the existing TWHF building to house a maximum of 404 workers, the existing office building, and an existing warehouse building. On July 12, 2023, the case planner conducted a site visit of the approved TWHF, and from an exterior observation, finds that the exterior of the facility is well kept, clean, and the landscaping and the basketball elements are existing. In conclusion, we find that the request package is in proper form and context and submitted to the commission for their action. Lastly, on to recommendation, it is our position that the applicant's continuing coordination with the permitting agencies finds that the applicant is complying to the conditions imposed, have been, and continues to work with appropriate government entities in adhering to said agencies' requirements and ensuring that best management practices are in place. In line with the above, we recommend a favorable commission review of the applicant's renewal request and updated site plan with the following conditions. Number one, that the applicant continues compliance to Section 2 of Public Law 36-2 as specified on DLM's approval letter dated April 27, 2021. Number two, that pursuant to the Barrigada MPC resolution, any increase above the 404 workers to be housed within the approved TWHF will require a resolution of approval from the Barrigada MPC. And lastly, that pursuant to the approved TWHF site plan, any change on the site plan or increased number of workers beyond the approved 852 workers shall be subject to the approval of the commission in accordance with the criteria set forth in subsections A and C of Section 61303, Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA. Included with this commission brief is a request package, a copy of the Barrigada MPC resolution, DLM's approval letter, the approved site plan, and the new site plan. And this concludes the commission brief.
Excuse my last minute, but and now turn it over to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any questions.
No question.
We have no questions. Thank you very much. I now open the floor for public comment for application 2020-418. I see no movement. I therefore close public comment at this time. I turn it back over to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any further discussion or questions.
I'd like to make a motion to approve application number 2020-41B for NAN Inc. for the renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow for the continued operation of a temporary workforce housing facility based on the recommendation stated on the August 7, 2023 commission brief.
Thank you very much. A motion is now on the floor. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Blas. Any further discussion? There being none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor of approving the action of 2020-41B, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous. The application is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair, if you would indulge me.
course.
Again, I'm putting on my other hat now as the chairman of the Yigo Memorial Foundation. And we invite all here, next week, unless it's postponed because of the typhoon, we are dedicating the Hasu Inalahan Monument down by Quadrant Bay. It is another one of our trail of monuments that we want to put to honor the sufferings and the strength of our people in World War II. And so we invite you all to join us down in Inalahan at Quadrant Bay next week. You'll probably be hearing the news, but it's we continue to honor our folks, and we thank you for your support. We thank land management for their support because we're doing this also for asset and moment, but land management has been very, very supportive in this, especially Mr. Arroyo here. So thank you personally, and to just and remember Hasim in England, and next week Hasim in Iran. Thank you.
So you'll have that on calendar somewhere, right?
Yes, we
For us to
will.
access?
Yes, we will. Thank you. And the Yigo Memorial Foundation, Facebook and on Instagram, which I have neither. Thank you.
Yes, okay. The next item on our agenda, item 5G, application number 2020-45B, the applicant, Ian Corporation, represented by Kyle M. Morga, is requesting renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the continued construction and operation of a temporary workforce housing facility to house up to 135 temporary workers on lot 5224-3-3 and lot 524-3-1-R1 in the municipality of Barrigada in an M1 light industrial zone. Case planner for this is Mr. Frank Taituno. I now turn it over to the applicant's representative for your presentation.
My name is Kyle Morgan, and
in construction, or E corporations. Just a little summary on the background of application 2020-45. So in 2020, the incorporation applied for the TWHF, but it was delayed because of COVID pandemic. Then in 2021, public law 36-2 was signed, and this granted the incorporation their initial approval and 2-year term. So their first 2 years is for 2021. And they received their building permit in October of 2021. So that was kind of already in half the year. Then in 2022, they had a revision to their site. So now in 2023, application 2020-45B is for their first annual renewal and their first amendment to the original site. Just a current status update. They're still under construction. They're about 90% done. They anticipate to complete it by the end of the year. And because they're still in the construction phase, they still haven't applied for the dormitory and sanitary permits. But of course, that all will come in also with the occupancy permit before they're allowed to start operations. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Borja. To my fellow commissioners, do you have any questions? I have no questions. Thank you. And now turn it over to our chief planner to see about your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be reading the commission brief on behalf of the case planner, Mr. Frank Saitino, dated August 7, 2023, for application number 2020-45B. The applicant, Ian Corporation, represented by Kyle Borja, is requesting for renewal of a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the continued construction and operation of a TWHF to house up to a maximum of 135 temporary workers on lot 5224-3-3 and lot 5224-3-R1 in the municipality of Vergara M1 Light Industrial Zone. Application 2020-45 was approved by the Guam Chief Planner on April 16, 2021, pursuant to Public Law 36-2, and is shown on the approved site plan. The TWHF in its final development is to consist of 3 buildings, 1 2-story building and 2 1-story building, a recreational area, an on-site stormwater retention system, an employee parking area, landscaping, and a 6-foot-high perimeter fence. The applicant hereby submits its initial term of 24 months annual renewal request, and in general provides that they have amended the approved TWHF site plan to include reducing the number of buildings from 3 to 2 buildings, relocated an enlarged building A to include showers, toilets, urinals, and wash basins on both floors, an electrical room on the first floor, a storage room, and on the second floor, an indoor hallway and stairways. Relocated an enlarged building B to include a kitchen and a walk-in cold storage, a dining area, and an indoor recreation room, a laundry room, a utility room, and a men's restroom and women's restroom, a medical office, and an office. The applicant also noted that construction and development of the elements of the approved TWHF are still ongoing, and that once completed, they will be applying for the appropriate workers' dormitory and sanitary permits. The applicant also included a copy of the new site plan, building permits, building plans, and photos of the complex. On July 12, 2023, the case planner conducted a site visit of the approved TWHF, and from an outside the fence observation finds the construction of the facility ongoing and the site is clean. In conclusion, we find that the request package is in proper form and context and submitted to the commission for their action. Lastly, on to recommendation, we recommend approval of the request for renewal of the TWHF approval and the new site plan with the following conditions. Number 1, that the applicant continues compliance to Section 2 of Public Law 36-2 as specified on DLM's approval letter dated April 16, 2021. And lastly, that pursuant to the approved TWHF site plan and Section 61303, subsection B of Chapter 61, Title 21 GCA, any change on the site plan or increased number of workers on the approved TWHF beyond the approved 135 workers shall be subject to the approval of the commission in accordance with the criteria set forth in subsections A and C of section 61303, chapter 61, title 21 GCA. With this commission brief is the request package, DLM's approval letter, the approved site plan, and the new site plan. And this concludes the commission brief.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bovee. I now turn it over to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any questions for staff. I don't have any questions either. Thank you very much. I now open up to the public for public comment. I don't see any movement. We're going to close public comment. I now take it back to my fellow commissioners. Do you see if you have any further discussion or questions? Otherwise, I'll take a motion for action.
I'll make a motion to approve application 2020-45 Bravo, requesting a renewal of this previously approved conditional use permit to allow the continued construction and operation of a temporary workforce housing facility as specified in the staff report dated August 7th, 2020.
Thank you very much. Motion on the floor. Do I hear a second? Okay, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? There being none, all in favor of approving the motion for 2020-45D, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
On. Okay. The motion carries. The application's been approved. Just not since before. I think staff. Okay. The next item on the agenda is item 5H, staff's report, application number 2013-048. The applicant, Property Investments Incorporated, represented by Daniel Swavely, submits a summary activity report for Sigua Highlands for lot 177-4-R2-5 Sigua Town Center, lot 177-4-R2-2 Ludbit, lot 177-4-R2-6 Sigua Heights, lot 177-4-R2-1-1 Batea, and lot 177-4-R2-1-R1 Plumeria in the municipality of Joktan, Aspen, Salampagu, and Ordan in a PDD land district development zone. The case planner for this is Mr. Frank Tank. So we welcome back Mr. Swavely, Mr. Borba, the applicant's representatives for your research.
Thank you. For the record, Dan Swavely, representing Company Investments, Stephen Chivo.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. I know it's getting late. I have pretty much the report here. You can stop me anytime. Okay, just I heard it or whatever. It's a big deal, though. You know, this was the largest rezoning ever since the passage of the Guam master plan. Right? So there's a lot going on, and I have my presentation for two parts. Kind of reason. First, what happened during the last year after all it is an annual report, and then secondly, Chief Planner Cruz suggested maybe you want to give a little background about Sigua Highlands, in as much as neither of you are on the original edition 10 years ago. Okay, I'll get started. So this is the 10th anniversary of the Commission's approval of Sigua Highlands. At that time, the applicant was Texas A&M University Down. And then in 2016, the property was bought by a gentleman named Stephen Chivo out of Boulder, Colorado. The reasons for his buying is sort of amusing. But he bought it, he paid like $6 million for it. He had never been on Guam before. But he heard about Guam, and since then he's been here several times, and you know, he's fallen in love with the place, so we have good out on it here. First, about the past year, since its inception, Sigua Highlands was never intended to generate growth. It was intended to accommodate natural growth of market demands for housing in the next decades. Okay, the thinking behind it is this: we think eventually we're going to reach a threshold for development over the average. Okay. What is eventually? 25 years, 50 years? Those are the timelines we were talking about for Sigua Highlands. Sigua Highlands is approved for 5,000 residential units. What's a big deal? So eventually we think sometime we're going to have no choice but to come south. And this would be a place for people to go already master plan condition, yeah. And over the past year, we've continued to entertain inquiries with proposals from developers who, particularly affordable housing development, because that's the buzzword right now. And this is all good. I respond personally to every one of them. We're on a first name basis. We probably have a half a dozen entities looking at this stuff right now. Yeah, and several different types of affordable housing. So far, honestly, the problem has been whoever comes in first is gonna accept a really big hit financially. Because whoever comes in first is gonna have to put in a sewer system. Yeah, and not sewer system, it's gonna have to run from wherever we are in Signal Highlands down to the Montet River, over the big pump station, pump it up the hill, somewhere into Darrow Road, probably to the right a little bit towards Route 4 before we can empty it. Okay, whoever comes in first has to take that. We're trying to figure out ways that we can lessen that cost or participate in it, et cetera, et cetera. We haven't done it yet, frankly. And most affordable housing developers, they want to come in and all they want to do is just build their house, right? They have these little Lego or whatever they are, look at models and just slam them together and sell them, right? Well, it takes a lot of money. Mr. Tebow's policy has always been that he's open to sale, lease, or joint development. And actually we prefer joint development because we have a little bit more control. Okay. I believe as Tebow does, we'll eventually find the right combination and we'll get started. Once we get the first, I think it'll roll after that. Collaterally, as we are entertaining these proposals for housing, we are on record to work with the Department of Agriculture regarding upland wetlands mitigation, including working with agriculture and U.S. Fish and Wildlife to be part of the snow net loss of wetlands, meaning if some property owner must take wetlands for his development, we can supplement that loss with some wetlands we can allocate in perpetuity in Signal Highlands. We are similarly working with the Department of Agriculture and another team, which is partially out of the university, regarding a habitat conservation plan. Now, to me, this is one of the biggest things we've got going. This means that right now we have 19 flora and fauna on endangered species that's going on. Okay, even though they're all over. On any of these, we have no alternative but mitigation in place. Being spoken on, buffer zone. Right? A habitat conservation plan would provide an alternate venue, an ultimate habitat for some of these species that they could be transplanted, relocated there. Okay, we have almost 800 acres, 70% of which, by law, land development system has to remain undeveloped. We're thinking for sure we can find some habitat area, right, that we can participate in bringing in these endangered species. Now, the problem with most developers say, well, yeah, what else? And then they think, yeah, but what if those little buggers get out of their little habitat that we create for them, right? And they come crawling into the rest of the place. And now we can't develop. Yeah, that's always a possibility, but honestly, with 70% of almost 800 acres, we feel we can find a place. So we're very active. Okay? That team is on Guam next week for a presentation. We are an official stakeholder. I'm an official stakeholder. And we hope to get the draft this summer and the final habitat conservation plan. So bottom line is, Signal Highlands is very involved with the evolution of that work. Now, good thing I took a trip. Off-roading. Wow. Would you put the off-roader number three? One more. No. There. Okay, let me orient you. That white wavy line is Leo Palace Drive. And the top wave is just about the area where we cross the line. You can see the dark green spot there. There's dark green here. So that dark, it's like 1 o'clock. All the way down to 5 o'clock. We come into, thank you, we come into Leo Palace Drive. That is Leo Palace Drive. Well, Leo Palace Drive goes all the way to Guerrero Road, but that's the part that borders Single Islands on both sides of the street. As you look at that, if you look at Leo Palace Drive right now, think of this. On the right side is 200 acres of zoned Single Islands. On the left side is 700 acres of zoned Single Islands, plus another 300 acres that's zoned. The bulk zone is just agriculture, it's not part of our, and those trails still on the bottom are the result of off-roaders. This, incidentally, I took a Google shot today. This is correct. That's the meaning. Okay. So what have we got going on there? It is a long time popular venue for a long time popular sport. Off-roading and single island. Okay. Guaranteed. On one level, no purpose. Go for it, right? Have fun. But on the other level, we are encountering environmental degradation, and we are encountering liability risk for the property owner. On a good weekend, you can go out there, you will see dozens of off-roaders, 100 people off-roading, plus hikers and bikers going through the area. Okay. The bottom line is they're trespassing. They're trespassing. Now, ideally, please take this home. I want to work with all of them. I want to find a way that we can do this together. Okay, I know we will, we just haven't. We have tried two things. Number one, we have worked this idea about, we will put signs up there saying, off-roaders, please go down the street. We have it already laid out, designed. It's a single egress point where they get in and out. At that point, we would have somebody who would require them to sign a waiver of liability to obey the rules of the road, where we would have wetlands and things staked out so that they don't go in and they disobey. Next time, right? That kind of thing. No charge. And so we looked at that, but we found it very difficult. First of all, we saw a case of people going there, right? And it just became problematic even for enforcement. Yeah, we have a sign that says, hey, don't go in here, go down there, but if you go in there, so what, right? The other thing at our single egress points, we would have what we call a debudding strip. Debudding strip, a debudding strip. The reason is this: in addition to the environmental degradation, biggest fallout from off-roaders there is when they come out with all that mud on the tires, they deposit that muddy residue of Leo Palace Drive for a mile and a half. And next day, sun comes out, those muddy clumps become hardened, and they are a problem for traffic. So we've already received warnings. Somehow we have to solve this. Now, I'm already working, of course, with Mayor Pega, who's very helpful, and our neighbors at Leo Palace Drive to try to figure something else out. It's mostly the neighbors at Leo Palace Drive who complain about this, because those townhouses and most of the condominiums and apartments are already occupied, right? So they're back and forth. Plus, that's the offshoots of the Letdown Road, the shortcut back to the. So we don't have it figured out yet. We're looking for ideas, we're looking for suggestions. The second thing we thought about was, hey, why don't we just forget it? It doesn't work. We'll just fence it off, right? From one end to the other end of our property, both sides of the road. You kind of got to do a fence. You can't do like the barriers because they're off-roaders, right? A barrier to an off-roader is another challenge. So we scoped out with a trustee contractor that I have the cost of the fence, both sides, it's a mile and a half. Okay, two sides of the road, $900. Prohibitive. We just can't. And besides, suppose we fence Leo Palace Drive. right, on both sides. The east side and the west side still have 3 other mountains that are accessible, right? Okay. We don't have an answer yet, but I could not go through years debriefing of single island without bringing up this. Before I quickly go into the history, anything else about this year? Put up the master plan first. Maybe even first of all, Sunny, the overview of Guam, so we have a full understanding. Yeah. So right where I have it circled in there, that's where single islands is. Again, if you're familiar with Leo Palace, if you cross the Montford Bridge, start making your way up the hill towards the entrance of Leo Palace on both sides of the road. Then part of that zone is the master plan. Yeah, right there. And that is a recap from our final approved application, showing 5 parcels and how many units are allowed, have been permitted. In fact, each parcel is approved for between 925 and 1,300 residential units, each one, for a total of 5,000. Yeah. 4 parcels are permitted to build structures up to 15 stories. You don't get more than your allotted number of residential units, but up to 15 stories. 1 parcel, Sigwood Town Center, which is not surprisingly the center of all that, is permitted to build 2 structures up to 25 stories. Plus, it has set aside for educational facilities, a fire station, satellite police station, museum, or other public facilities approved by the governor, and for a 250-unit affordable living house. This was well thought out. This master plan was well vetted by the public and by government agencies. This was like a 2-year process. I took this with 3 municipalities. As the chairperson pointed out, Sable Highlands, Jonia, Aston, Channel Power, all those places, all those public hearings to go through this thing.
Mr. Swavely, where's the order go?
Okay, let me see. It's on one. It's just off there.
Oh,
Darn it. Darn it.
That one?
Yeah, so where you see that last curve,
yeah.
that's where you cross Swanson River, then you go up,
To the,
not
okay,
far, and then you go to the left.
that's where the duck is.
Yep, there's the country.
Yeah, thanks.
From Google Earth, I would have made it a little bit bigger. It just looks like a square, it's a white square.
Yeah, Lonnie showed me.
Yeah, oh, you showed that. Yeah. Oh, it's in there. Thank you. Oh, you're pulling it up now.
Yes.
So. Where are
So this is the order.
Right, it's
So this
there.
is order, and then
Yeah.
here's the
So that
sequence.
white
Here's
square.
Leo.
That white square at about
This one.
Yeah.
12:30. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then here's sequence.
That ends my history lesson, unless we want to go through everything. Each parcel is encumbered. It's encumbered by a number of development regulations. We took each one by one. Nonetheless, Single Highlands was one total for its own average. The only other issue I would like to briefly broach is the fact that we would like to commission to address a request of ours. Perhaps you're not ready to today, perhaps staff isn't, no problem. But of all the acreage that is in there, there is, could you pull out a little circle at the bottom? Number 4. Excellent. Excellent.
This is the last. 2,
That's
3,
it. Maybe number
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, okay, it's not there. Okay. Okay. If you look at that, you see the bottom red line, which corresponds with that southern. Then go to the right, you see a little wedge. Okay. That, so Signal Highlands is basically almost a square, yeah, except for in that little corner there. There's a little wedge there. It's just an idiosyncrasy of the problem. A little wedge, 2.5 inches, okay? It means nothing to the development. It's nothing to the undeveloped requirement of 70%. But it does mean something to the next, the adjacent neighbor. The adjacent neighbor is a farmer. And he would like to expand his agricultural operations in that direction. So he has asked us to buy that wedge, 2.5 acres on stuff. That wedge doesn't do this way, it doesn't do that, it's just that little friend. We would like the commission to allow us to do that, sell that little wedge. It does nothing for, the math is this, real quick. It is, Signal Highlands is approved for 795. Okay. The undeveloped was 579 acres or 73%. We need a minimum of 70, so 3%. If we sell that 2.5 acres of undeveloped, it would mean that we only have 577 acres, 72.6% undeveloped. So it's a 0.4% shift of undeveloped areas. We can do this if we sell this, give it to the farmer next door. Now, okay, maybe that's not such a big deal, right? But it's this. We feel, we have so few farmers on Guam, right? And here's this guy who's doing all of this and he wants to do more. And he's right across the street. He has his own access. He's right across the street. And T-Bo just feels like, hey, we ought to do what we can do. We cannot do that well. Now, I understand if case planner Triton and chief planner Cruz don't want to address this today. I did submit a formal request in August. If you don't want to submit it today, if you don't want to address it today, I get it. We'll come back another time. But I did want to put it on the table because that is one of the things that's happening.
So Dan, I don't think we were prepared to address any action necessarily on this particular application. Even though it's on the agenda, it doesn't describe that request. We will definitely put it on the next agenda.
I understand. I will do the same question. Thank you.
I do have a question now. So before Texas A&M came in and before Mr. Tebow came in, who owned that project?
White Look.
Look,
White Look. He was a surveyor. With a
who was it before him? Any Chamorro landowners? Ancestors?
probably. But he was a surveyor. That should help explain.
Oh, yeah. So he almost stole it.
He also sold Leo Palace. That 1,000 acres of Leo Palace was also. He donated. He gifted Signal Highlands 1,100. Yeah, all 1,100 acres. Hillary's own property. He gifted 1,100 acres to Signal Highlands, Texas A&M University, his alma mater, in exchange for them naming the engineering school after him, which they did. And the backstory is this. It had a gift value of $50 million to the account. That was
Back in Texas. The building in Texas?
no, the land had a gift value.
No. They named a building after.
No, they named the School of Engineering after. Yeah,
Texas
Yeah,
A&M.
at Texas, in Texas.
to this day.
In
Yeah.
Texas.
Why do you look School of Engineering?
So a surveyor comes in, I can survey a land and then take it.
I don't know that word.
Can you, actually what happened there, I think the property that was owned by a local family had tax problems.
Oh,
So
So it wasn't-
what happened is Mr. Luke gave them a deal, basically where we take care of all their financial problems in exchange for that problem.
okay, so it's all on the up and up.
Yeah, it is.
For my time, sir.
Okay.
A few things are.
Okay, so now it's private property?
Yes, sir.
So why do you need permission to sell that private property?
I can answer that.
Texas A&M endowment at the time.
Okay,
if they have the time.
but they're the ones who want to sell it, right? To
They
the
do want
farmer.
to sell it, right?
So why do you need our permission to sell private property to?
Oh,
Sorry, Commissioner Blas, the entire 5 parcels or 6 parcels are part of a master plan, and any amendments to the master plan have to go before the commission. So
Oh, I see.
severing that portion, we're changing some
No, I got
some
you.
calculations, and that's basically what it is.
yeah, that's it. We were allowed a little wiggle room in plan development districts. Compared to the executive group master plan, actually, in my experience, but we're not allowed wiggle room of changing local areas without. So that's fine. I'll just go back next time I hope. And we'll adjust. That's Signal Highlands.
Thank you for the status report. Thank you for that historical presentation, and I think that's pretty much it for this particular application. Commissioners, any further questions before we move to adjournment? Thank you very much, Swavely, Mr. Gora, Ms. Mossy. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Motion made by Commissioner Ford. Do I hear a second?
I second that.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Watts. All in favor, please say aye. Raise your hand. Aye. Okay, today's meeting of the Guam Land Use Commission is now adjourned. I have 3:20 p.m. on my watch. Ms. Mossy, thank you very much for all your work.